Number 4. Big cargo ship capsizing. Shocked crewmen jump into the water. Picture yourself on a massive cargo ship, carrying thousands of vehicles, as you cruise along the coast of Georgia, USA. Suddenly, the ship begins to tilt, and before you know it, the ship has capsized, leaving you and your fellow crew members stranded in the water. This nightmare scenario became a reality for the crew of the MV Golden Ray on September 8, 2021. The 656-foot-long cargo ship had just departed from the port of Brunswick when a fire in the engine room forced the captain to turn the ship around. In a matter of minutes, the ship capsized, forcing all 24 crew members to jump into the water to save their lives. The incident had severe consequences, including environmental pollution and financial losses. In this article, we will take a closer look at the events that led to the capsizing of the MV Golden Ray, its consequences, and the measures taken to deal with it. Number 1. MV Golden Ray. The MV Golden Ray was carrying over 4,000 vehicles when it capsized. The ship had just departed from the port of Brunswick and was heading towards Baltimore when it experienced a fire in the engine room. The crew members attempted to put out the fire but were unsuccessful. The ship's captain then decided to turn the vessel around and head back to the port of Brunswick. However, as the ship was turning, it suddenly capsized, causing the crew members to jump into the water to save their lives. The rescue operation. As soon as the incident was reported, the US Coast Guard deployed several boats and helicopters to the site. The first priority was to rescue the crew members who were stranded in the water. The rescue team was able to save 20 crew members, but 4 were reported missing. After several hours of search and rescue efforts, the missing crew members were finally located and rescued. Fortunately, all the crew members survived the incident, although some suffered from minor injuries. Environmental impact. The capsizing of the MV Golden Ray had a significant impact on the environment. The ship was carrying over 4,000 vehicles, some of which fell into the water and caused pollution. The ship also had 4,000 gallons of fuel on board, which leaked into the water, causing a potential environmental disaster. The US Coast Guard immediately initiated measures to contain the spill and prevent it from spreading further. They deployed several vessels and booms to contain the spill and prevent it from reaching the shore. The spill was eventually contained and the cleanup operation was initiated. Legal proceedings. The capsizing of the MV Golden Ray led to several legal proceedings. The owners of the ship, Hyundai Glovis, were held responsible for the incident and were required to pay for the cost of the rescue operation and the environmental cleanup. The owners were also required to remove the wreck of the ship from the water. The removal of the wreck was a challenging process that took over a year to complete. It involved cutting the ship into several pieces and removing them one by one. Lessons learned. The capsizing of the MV Golden Ray highlights the importance of safety in the shipping industry. The incident was caused by a fire in the engine room, which raises questions about the ship's maintenance and safety procedures. The incident also shows the importance of having adequate rescue and response capabilities in place. The US Coast Guard was able to respond quickly to the incident and save the lives of all crew members. Finally, the incident highlights the importance of environmental protection in the shipping industry. The spill from the MV Golden Ray had the potential to cause significant environmental damage, and the measures taken by the US Coast Guard were essential in preventing this. The capsizing of the MV Golden Ray was a tragic incident that had significant consequences. The incident highlights the importance of safety, response, and environmental protection in the shipping industry. The incident also shows the importance of having adequate legal and regulatory frameworks in place to hold responsible parties accountable for their actions. The incident should serve as a lesson for the shipping industry to take measures to prevent such incidents from happening. Number 2. MV Wakashio. On July 25, 2020, the MV Wakashio, a Japanese-owned bulk carrier, landed aground on a coral reef off the coast of Mauritius, causing a major environmental disaster. The ship was carrying over 4,000 metric tons of fuel oil, which started leaking into the ocean after the vessel's hull began to crack. As the ship began to sink, the crew members were forced to jump into the water to save their lives. This article will discuss the events that led to the MV Wakashio's capsizing, its consequences, and the measures taken to deal with the environmental disaster that followed. Events leading to the MV Wakashio's capsizing. The MV Wakashio left the port of Qingdao in China on July 14, 2020, with a cargo of 3,800 metric tons of fuel oil and 200 metric tons of diesel fuel. The vessel was on its way to Brazil, but on July 25th, it ran aground on a coral reef off the coast of Mauritius. The ship was not carrying any cargo when it ran aground, but it was carrying a significant amount of fuel oil, which posed a significant environmental threat to the area. Attempts were made to refloat the ship, but they were unsuccessful, and the vessel began to break apart on August 6th. The hull on the ship started to crack, and the oil began leaking into the surrounding ocean, creating an oil slick that spread for miles. The crew members were evacuated from the ship and were forced to jump into the water to save their lives. Consequences of the MV Wakashio's capsizing. The capsizing of the MV Wakashio had a significant impact on the environment and the local economy. The oil spill from the ship covered a vast area of the ocean and affected the island's marine ecosystem, including coral reefs, fish, and other marine animals. The oil slick also affected the local fishing industry, which is a significant source of income for the island's residents. The incident also had a significant impact on the tourism industry, which is a crucial sector for Mauritius' economy. The island is famous for its pristine beaches, clear waters, and beautiful coral reefs, which attract thousands of tourists each year. The oil spill and the damage caused by the ship's sinking had a significant impact on the island's tourism industry, with many tourists canceling their trips to the island. Measures taken to deal with the environmental disaster. The government of Mauritius immediately initiated measures to deal with the environmental disaster caused by the MV Wakashio's capsizing. The authorities set up a crisis management center to coordinate the response efforts and mobilize resources to contain the oil spill and prevent it from spreading further. The government also requested international assistance to deal with the environmental disaster. Several countries, including France and Japan, sent experts and resources to help deal with the oil spill. The international community also provided financial and technical support to help Mauritius deal with the environmental disaster. In addition to the emergency response efforts, the government of Mauritius also took legal action against the owners and operators of the MV Wakashio. The government demanded compensation for the damage caused by the oil spill and held the responsible parties accountable for the environmental disaster. Lessons learned from the MV Wakashio's capsizing. The MV Wakashio's capsizing highlighted the importance of safety and environmental protection in the shipping industry. The incident raised questions about the safety procedures and regulations governing the shipping industry and the need to strengthen them to prevent similar incidents from happening in the future. The incident also showed the importance of having adequate response and contingency plans in place to deal with environmental disasters caused by shipping accidents. The prompt response and coordinated efforts of the Mauritian authorities and the international community helped contain the spillage were also hindered by bad weather, which made it difficult for cleanup crews to access the affected areas. However, despite these challenges, the Mauritian government, along with international organizations and volunteers, worked tirelessly to contain and clean up the oil spill. Environmentalists have raised concerns about the long-term effects of the oil spill on the marine ecosystem in the region. The oil spill has already caused extensive damage to coral reefs, mangrove forests, and other marine habitats. The oil has also affected fish and other marine life, which are an essential source of food for the local communities. The incident has prompted calls for better regulation and safety measures in the shipping industry. The International Maritime Organization has already called for a comprehensive review of the safety and environmental standards for shipping in the wake of the incident. The organization has also called on member states to implement stricter regulations to prevent such incidents from happening in the future. In response to the incident, several countries and organizations have also offered assistance to Mauritius. Japan, the home country of the MV Wakashio, sent a team of experts to assist with the cleanup operation. France, which has close ties with Mauritius due to its colonial past, also sent a team of experts and equipment to assist with the cleanup. The incident has also led to a public outcry in Mauritius, with many people calling for accountability and justice for the damage caused by the oil spill. The captain of the MV Wakashio and his first officer were arrested and charged with endangering safe navigation, which carries a maximum penalty of 60 years in prison. The incident has highlighted the need for better safety regulations and measures in the shipping industry. It has also underscored the importance of emergency response capabilities and environmental protection in the face of such disasters. The incident has shown that even small incidents can have far-reaching consequences, and that the shipping industry must take all necessary precautions to prevent such incidents from happening in the future. In conclusion, the capsizing of the MV Wakashio was a tragic incident that had significant consequences for the environment, the local community, and the shipping industry. The incident highlights the need for better safety regulations, emergency response capabilities, and environmental protection measures in the shipping industry. The incident has also shown that even small incidents can have far-reaching consequences and that the industry must take all necessary precautions to prevent such incidents from happening in the future. The response to the incident has demonstrated the importance of international cooperation and solidarity in times of crisis, and the need for accountability and justice for those responsible for such disasters.